What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Wolfcryer here, and today I wanted to take some time to talk about my thoughts on patch 2.6.6 as far as the Diablo 3 PTR went, and my testing on it over the last week. But before we jump into today's video, I want to talk about two different things, and first up being Diablo 3's Season 17 will be ending on August 18th, so if you've got stuff you want to accomplish in the game, now's the chance to get that done. And the second thing I want to talk about is Level with a Cause. Our charity event will be going on once again for the commencement of Season 18 in Diablo 3. Over the last 7 seasons, I can't believe this is going to be our 8th event, ladies and gentlemen. We have raised over $46,000 for charity, about $20,000 for St. Jude's, about $20,000 for Save the Children, and a little over $6,000 for an organization known as Take This. And I want to say thank you to every single streamer who has been involved since the beginning, whether you've done it once or every single time, and those who donate to the charities, and even those who stop by the streams and just raise awareness for the event. This is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to content creation on YouTube and Twitch. This is the absolute favorite thing that I've accomplished, and I owe it all to the amazing Diablo 3 community. Alright, so let's jump right into the video. Overall, I enjoyed the PTR very, very much. I did not do a lot of testing with the seasonal theme, the Triune theme, where you get those 3 different kinds of circles that can spawn whenever you hit an enemy. The one that reduces your cooldown of any of your skills that are currently on cooldown, the resource cost reduction circle, and the power circle, which grants you increased damage. I didn't play around much. I created a level 1 seasonal character and messed around for a few levels, but I didn't really focus on that because I wanted to focus on the end game stuff. But I do think that the Season of Triune is going to change things up as far as you're going to want to stand in these circles. It's going to change up your movement and all that type of stuff while you're rifting, while you're moving forward as both a solo player and a group player. So it should be pretty interesting to see what type of dynamics this is going to create within the game. But I did do a lot of testing on the monk, and I enjoyed what I was able to test. I tested Raiment with the Crimson set. I was almost able to do a GR 110 with it, missing it by just under 30 seconds, and that was with not so great gear and 3 augments, all of which were under level 100 gems. So it definitely has a place for monk players. So if you're into that generator type of build, it's definitely something that you can jump into. That Crimson set adds a lot of damage and damage mitigation to different builds, and it's cool how just changing up one little side crafted set can change things up a bit. You can use it with Ulianas, you can use it with Raiment, you can use it with Sun Wukos, you can even use it with Innas, although I didn't get a chance to test that much. I wanted to, but I wanted to test several other builds, mainly Sun Wukos, and I also tested out the Legacy of Dreams gem, which is just plain amazing to be able to have that Season 17 buff in gem form and allow you to create a Legacy of Dreams build. I went with the LOD Wave of Light version, and that build is just plain crazy. I love it. I love the playstyle using Rabid Strike and Cyclone Strike in it, in addition to your normal setup. And overall, I'm really looking forward to trying out different monk builds coming in Season 18, but I will probably end up pushing with either the Raiment set or the Legacy of Dreams Wave of Light. Now, as far as the other items go, I think that the 2 necklaces introduced, Squirt's necklace is very awesome, and definitely something a little bit different. You don't really have any items in game that actually increase the amount of damage you take. So that 100% damage bonus that it gives to you is offset by the fact that while you're not taking damage, this ramps up, but you have the chance of taking 50% more damage instead of mitigating damage like the Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose set does. So it's a pretty good offset for that piece of gear. And the Flavor of Time is just plain amazing. It's going to be used in almost every single Legacy of Dreams build as your necklace. Hellfire Amulet is going to fall off the wayside when it comes to that type of stuff, because doubling the duration of pylons is just plain awesome and amazing. I think that that is going to be used in every single Legacy of Dreams build and a lot of the other builds that are coming out there. Now, Echoing Fury, I did do some testing on Monk, but the problem with Echoing Fury is I think it's more suited towards other classes, because the Monk has the Flying Dragon that we can cube in our generator builds and stuff like that, and it actually adds a better buff because you can trigger Flying Dragon while you are fighting solo mobs, and you can't trigger Echoing Fury while you are. But other classes don't have access to Flying Dragon, and this is going to be something that can be used by Barbarians or Crusaders or pretty much any other class to gain that attack speed, a massive amount of attack speed and movement speed, and it's going to be useful for some of the classes out there. I just don't think it's going to be useful for Monk, but that's okay because, like I said, monks have access to that Flying Dragon buff, which doubles your attack speed while you're attacking, and overall, I like the change. Now, Messerschmitt can be used in certain speed farming builds, especially for Necromancer and stuff like that. I've seen some builds out there that are utilizing this. A lot of people told me this was going to be not so great, but it turns out that it is actually useful in some of the speed farming builds out there. So that is pretty awesome to see. And obviously the Barbarian Bracers are going to be used in many Barbarian builds, so that was a pretty good addition. I didn't get a chance to test out the Executioner, but it is a pretty cool concept with attacking enemies, kills them if they are less than 5 to 10% health, and that's pretty awesome. It's kind of like a frailty buff for non-necromancers, so it is something that could be looked at. I personally didn't have a chance to test it at all. Stone Gauntlets is another thing. I don't understand if that's going to transition well into any of the builds. I saw a lot of people talking about Thorns builds with it, but I thought you wanted attack speed with Thorns builds, so I'm not sure on that one there. And the changes to Sages with the introduction of the belt allows many other classes to farm with Sages set. I know a lot of efficient players out there won't really need the Sages set since the addition of T16. At least that's what I've been gathering from other players. But for those who are less efficient, let's say, or play more casually, this is going to definitely help them out as far as gathering those DBs for crafting those Death's Breaths, for those of you who don't know what I mean by DBs. So I think overall the crafted sets, all guilds, really needs a little bit more work in order to be useful anywhere. But for the most part, I'm really liking the direction that this seasonal change is bringing. Now, the Triune buff is for seasons, but the rest of the patch is for game-wide, so it will be buffed up during non-season as well, so that's pretty awesome to see. And the introduction of the Legacy of Dreams gem, back on that, the fact that Season 17's buff transitioned into something that was created for the entire game, including non-season, is pretty awesome. And hopefully going forward, we can see more of that inclusion of certain seasonal themes into the base game. That's pretty much what we're going to get nowadays. I don't think there's going to be any big content patch coming, but if we can keep stuff like this, trying to keep the game fresh, trying to add more balance to different builds and the classes and stuff like that. I know there are people out there who yearn for an expansion or a new class, etc., but I don't think that the title is in that part of its lifespan. That's not something that's going to happen. You're not going to have big changes as far as content goes, as far as maps and classes and stuff like that, but you can change up the game in little ways that make it actually interesting to play and test out different seasons and say, hey, that looks pretty cool. I want to check it out for a little while. Even if you're not playing entire seasons, it gives you a reason to return, at least for a couple of weeks, and play the game that we enjoy. I personally have almost 4,000 hours in Diablo 3. I wouldn't be playing it even for a few weeks if I did not enjoy it. So going forward, I do hope that they continue this trajectory of increasing different abilities, different legendary items, and overall bringing some new stuff in the terms of stuff like the Triune buff or the LON buff and the Royal Ring buff. Stuff like that really changes up the game, changes how you play it, and hopefully this can keep people coming back. Like I said, even for a few weeks, it's tough to play full seasons when seasons are 3 months long. There are other games out there to play and stuff like that, and that's okay. I've come to really enjoy my ability to jump in and go gung-ho for Diablo 3 for a few weeks or a month and a half and stuff, and then switch over to another game that I really like and make a different cycle out of it. I used to be fully Diablo 3, and now I play many other games, and it's still something that I return to. Diablo 3 is something that I always find my way back to, and hopefully this type of stuff continues, because this is what's going to bring me back now and then, to play around with these changes. And overall, I'm impressed with the PTR. I'm impressed with what they've done. Like I said, I don't see a big development team associated with Diablo 3, so what they are working with and what they are accomplishing is pretty decent. So overall, I'd have to say that the new patch is going to be pretty fun. I plan on playing Monk this upcoming season and might sprinkle in a little bit of Demon Hunter or Wizard as well, but we're going to have to wait and see how that goes, how my time goes within the game, and I'm just looking forward to playing Diablo again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I always greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know down in that comment section down below what your favorite addition to Season 18 is, and what you'd like to see going forward with this game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you, and you all have a fantastic day. Peace.